Stu Grayson, of course, not all that long ago, had to run an AEW.
You know, this is the thing about Top Tier. Any other kind of, a small indie event, small independent show, this is a main event. Not here at Top Tier. That is the caliber of the talent. That's the resources behind Top Tier, bringing the best action you can see in Ontario.
When you put these two names on a poster and attention, it'll grab any fan. We have Matt Cross, of course, representing us as a top-tier champion for a year, and he's looking to get back in the title picture, I gotta say. He wants to get that title back.
And we've talked about how M-Dog has traveled around the globe, but for roughly 2 decades, he really has been a staple of Canadian wrestling. Going all the way back to UWA Hardcore. Yes. The guy is a living, breathing legend, and he will not tell you that himself because he's a humble individual, but he's one of the hardest working individuals I've ever met, and Stu has his work cut out for him.
You can't sell Stu short either. Going back, Super Smash Brothers.
Sure, but he was player 2. All right? You ever think him and Uno had a dispute over that? Why do you want to be player 1 anyways? All you get is control of the menu. It's not that big of a deal.
That's a good point.
Yeah. But that being said, you could say the same about Stu, the way we talked about Ortiz earlier. Again, started out really as a tag team specialist, and he's come a long way on his own.
The 2 seasoned vets here, all business in this ring right now. And I have to say, too, you mentioned UWA Hardcore. Of course, that had a heavy influence on a man we're going to see a little later on in Carter Mason.
Yeah, a lot of those young guys in the locker room, they look up to M-Dog, and, while he's never been here in Top Tier, Josh Prohibition was a staple of UWA Hardcore, and those guys, someone like Matt gracing the locker room, being able to watch him perform, and the way that I've seen him give back to the younger guys in the locker room, the guys that look up to him, that says a lot about his character, and I think that speaks volumes about the man that M-Dog truly is.
Well, you mentioned his character here. He represented this company so well as a champion, and not just because he was the champion, but because he took it seriously, because he knew what it meant. That's why he wants to hold that title again. He wants to represent this company. And Stu Grayson looking good early on here as well. Stu has won a multitude of titles, more than 24, just here in Ontario alone.
Yeah, you got to give it the Top Tier management for, not just, all right, you're not champion anymore, take a break. They brought him right back in, scheduled him right back in for matches to get back, build that momentum.
Yeah, but if Stu gets the win, though, what's that say for Matt Cross? Stu Grayson, he's going to move on to bigger and better things if he can defeat the former champion.
Well, look at this. Well, very cleverly done. 1, 2. I think even deep down, I think Stu Grayson knew the match wasn't going to end there. Well, look at these two just taking it to each other early on, playing whatever they can at the other. They just almost prepare for everything, it seems. This should be a long, grueling match on both sides.
Yeah.
And I will say, too, oh, my goodness, very impressive. And I talked to Stu earlier, and he even told me, he said he doesn't want to cruise on his reputation on the Ontario independent scene. He doesn't want anything handed to him. He's here to earn it. Let's wind up. Oh. So he could shave his beard with those shots. Nice backbreaker cover.
Matt Cross kind of on the wrong end of everything here the last minute or so.
Can never count him out, though.
No.
Matt Cross has been through a lot worse. He could take a beating.
And the caliber of opponents he faced here at Top Tier, there were times we thought that title was going to slip away from him long before it ever did. And look at this. Whoa, beautiful. Entering in with a tornado DDT. Cover. I can just tell, gentlemen, by the way you two are watching this matchup, that you have deep respect for both men.
I'm getting caught up watching it. I mean, you got two pros in there. Oof. You got two pros in there doing things I wish I could do and executing flawlessly. I'm sitting here, a little bit of envy, a little bit of jealousy.
And I mean, you know what? Again, I don't want to sound like I have a bias for Matt Cross, but you know, he is a fellow Cleveland boy, and also, you know, he's been doing this 26 years. He's getting up there in age, but with the way he moves in the ring, the way that he's built, like, you know, better than most of the 20-some-year-old kids on this roster, it's incredible. Like, the man is timeless in a lot of ways.
Well, and again, I agree with you, Greg. I saw the way he came off the ropes and just still got that height up for that boot and hit it perfectly. Right on his target. There's even a lot of younger competitors who could never do that.
Well, you know, he comes off of that gymnastic background that started right when he was a child. So it's like, you know, he's been building this foundation as an athlete since his youth, you know, and that says a lot about him. Plus, you know, he's maintaining that straight edge lifestyle, no drinking, no smoking. You know, he is a very, very serious competitor.
No question about it. He always has been, even from those days in the backyards.
Well, you know, some of his actions back in the backyard days, you would question whether or not he was taking drugs and alcohol, that's for sure.
And since he didn't, I can only imagine the pain he felt after some of those shows. And look at this, though. Stu Grayson still staying in this thing. And the expertise of both these men. Look at this. But once again, Matt Cross has the answer.
We're not going to see the shooting star now, are we?
Might be too early, but if he feels he can hit it, I say go for it. He went for the stomp, I believe. Ooh. And that's how well these two men have studied each other. Like I said, back and forth here in this matchup.
Well, there's enough footage on both individuals, and, you know, these guys, they don't slouch when it comes to scouting their opponents. I can tell you that for sure. Matt Cross, all he cares about is professional wrestling and being the very best. And that goes the same for Stu Grayson.
It is their lifestyle. It's what they thrive on. It's what pumps their blood. And now Grayson up to a vertical base. Can he capitalize? But he's taking a bit of a beating already. And what's this? Perhaps some intimidation here. They're going to go shot for shot again. Pure competition from these two. Ooh, and again, you can hear those all the way back here, even with our headsets on.
Stu Grayson on the wrong end of those. Oh!
Perfectly timed knee. Perfectly timed cutter to counter. Unbelievable.
That could be it, Bill.
No.
Nobody can do that spring off of that top rope like M-Dog Matt Cross. You know, I think people think about how beautiful it looks, but it is painful. There is a reason why you only see Matt Cross do something like that, because he has a passion for pain. See what I did there? That was an impact.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I like that. It just goes to show how bad he wants a given victory. He will do whatever it takes. Oh. But look at that, though. Again, each man, it's almost a game of anything you can do, I can do better.
Matching each other hold for hold. Oh, that throat slash is banned in TNA, but not here in top tier wrestling, I'll tell you that.
True independent. He can do whatever he wants.
Exactly, and Grayson could be finishing Matt Cross off right here.
Oh!
We've seen that many times.
There's a twin.
2, 3.
Oh!
Are you kidding me?
Here's your winner, Stu Grayson.
I am shocked.
Well, again, Stu Grayson gets the victory, but at the same time, what we saw before our eyes, gentlemen, I know the term gets overused at times, but a clinic there between two amazing old-school veteran competitors really bringing their A-game here tonight.
I gotta say, what an amazing match. Kind of Grayson with a win out of nowhere. We were not expecting that to be the end of the match. That's the kind of pace that these guys set that we see in other matches. I gotta say this with M-Dog. That's a loss.
Yeah.
Is that gonna get in his head?
He's been through a lot in his career, that's for sure. But I know one thing, like I was saying earlier, Stu, this is going to help push him right to the top of top tier.
Indeed, I hope so.